Welcome to PLG Group Limited, and I am Prince from the technical department. I am here today to show us the reason why sometimes when we power on a machine, it doesn't boot. So, no time to waste. Let us get right into action. So, we have an HP machine here, and we will try to power on the machine and see if it works or not. Now, we power on a machine. So, you first of all, you will need to give it some time and then see if it works or not. And it's about 10 seconds now. We can see our machine is still not booting, which means that there is a problem with the machine. So we will need to troubleshoot the machine, which is opening the back of the machine and then getting to the motherboard to find a better solution to this problem. So you turn your machine and then you get your screwdriver. So there are certain screws at the back of the machine that you need to unscrew. So you need your screwdriver to do that for you. So you need to unscrew these tiny screws here. So you unscrew them one after the other. You take time and then unscrew them one after the other. Take note, you need to close the machine. So you need to put these screws at a place that you'll be able to use them when you are done solving this issue. Okay, so we have our machine. So this is the back of the machine. We have our motherboard here. We have our battery here. We have our SSD here. This is the fan. This is the connector for the screen and everything that makes up the machine. So first of all, you need to find ways that you need to solve the issue. So first of all, you check if the battery is well connected. And looking at the battery connector, we can see it is well connected. This is the battery connector. As we can see, it is well connected. So the next thing you need to look out for is the SSD. Yes, so as we can see, the SSD is also well connected. It is not shaking. Yes, it is not shaking. So which means it is well connected. So we don't have a problem with the SSD as well. The battery is well connected. The SSD is also well connected. The next thing you need to look out for is the RAM. And with this machine, it has a RAM cover that protects the RAM. So you need to remove this cover and then see if there is RAM. And yes, as you can see, there is no RAM in the machine. So the possible problem is a missing RAM, which means you need a working RAM to be able to solve this issue. So we'll look out for a working RAM and then put it inside the machine to see if our problem will be solved. Okay, so we have a RAM here. This is an 8 gig RAM, a PC4 or DDR4. So we put it in the machine. We put it in the machine. Okay, so we have placed our RAM in the machine now. Yes. So the next thing is it can also be as a result of the display. So you check if your display is also well connected. And yes, our display is also well connected, which means that the only problem here was the RAM. The only problem here was the RAM. So let us see if that is true. And yes, after you've slot in your RAM, you don't need to close your machine because for troubleshooting purposes, you might come back to the back of the machine. So you need to keep the back of the machine open like this until you are done working at the back of it. So let us on our machine and see if it works or not. So you get the power button You press the power button and then see if it works. We give it some time, and then yes, we can see our machine booting. So we have our machine on, which means that the problem was related to the RAM. So it was a RAM problem that was causing our machine not to boot. So now that we've been able to solve this issue, we need to close the machine. And before we do that, let us shut down the machine. So you shut down the machine. Okay. So once you shut down your machine, you cover your machine and then you put the screws back in place. So you make sure you tighten your screws very well so that the back does not remove. So you tighten your screws very well. You tighten your screws very well. And then yes, so once you are done tightening your screws, you still need to power on the machine and see if the problem was solved. So once you press the power button, you still need to give it some time, 5 to 10 seconds. And yes, there we go. So we have our machine booting this time around, which means that the main problem why our machine was not booting at first was because there was no RAM in the machine. And when we place a working RAM in the machine, we can see our machine now on. So thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.